This episode of Last Lap is brought to you in association with Solar Software Solutions Limited. A warm welcome to Alton Park in Cheshire for the penultimate event in the 2012 BRSCC Formula Jedi Championship. Formula Jedi, one of the most exciting single-seater championships in the UK and for sure one of the most cost-effective. Top speeds of 150 miles an hour, 185 brake horsepower, and these little cars hold the outright lap records at many of the circuits they race on.
So things have been pretty static in the championship so far for one man in Formula Jedi, and that is Richard Mitchum. Richard, you've been leading pretty much since the start, haven't you?
Yeah, we've had a very good season, to be fair. We've won every race we've finished, so that's kind of as good as it can get, really. But yeah, it's been a great season. We've had a little bit of luck here and there. We've found things on the car, we're prepping it while nearly going, so reliability's been great this year.
So joined now by driver number 4, Dan Clues. Dan, second on the grid, you must be pretty excited for the races coming up.
Yeah, really excited, really pleased this morning, went very, very well. Second to Richard again. Richard's beaten me to pole a couple of most times this year, but we've always been there or thereabouts, so I'm hoping for a really good start and see how we get on in the race.
Richard Mitchum on pole position with Dan Clues alongside. Row 2, Andrew Dunn and Adam Walker with Lee Morgan and Jeremy Pickard on row 3. Row 4, Richard Moorcroft and Mike Watton. Then Matthew Bett and Barry Armstrong. Jonathan Packer, 11th on the grid. 2 club class entries or challenge entries there for the older engines. Richard Moorcroft on pole, Michael Watton alongside. And a great start from the front, but not so good for Adam Walker and Jeremy Pickard. But look at that, into the lead. Dan Clues leads. Richard Mitchum in black is in second place. They're followed by Andrew Dunn. Lee Morgan's through into fourth place after that dismal start for Adam Walker. And they're coming down Cascades for the first time. Some superb action from these cars over the course of the season we've seen. It's the penultimate event. There is being pushed off the starting grid is Jeremy Pickard. He's underway. He's got a lot of work to do to try and close up as we look at Dan Clues coming under pressure from Richard Mitchum, championship leader. This is the view from the race leader into the Shell Oils hairpin for the first time. Well, he's managed to annex that. It's Andrew Dunn in the white car in third place. But Dan Clues, it is that he's there at the moment, fifth in the championship. The 36-year-old comes from Newcastle under Lyme and he's in lead position at the moment. Also catching up is Lee Morgan, running well in the 56 car, the fourth of the quartet. So heading up Clay Hill for the first time, and it looks like Dan Clues, absolute master start from him. You can see the onboard camera giving us a great shot of how very, very fast these cars are, and look at the close quarter that they're running in through Druids, coming now down into Lodge Corner, and there's a look down the inside here from Richard Mitchum. Challenges for the lead, has a look, thinks better of it. He knows the race isn't won on the first lap. As they go through Deer Leap, it's going to be Dan Clues that leads across the line from Richard Mitchum in second position, Andrew Dunn third, Lee Morgan in fourth place. The quartet starting to break free at the moment of the rest of the field. So through Old Hall and down Cascades for the second time. And Mitchum's having a look down the inside. Well, was that I'm not sure if that was an intended pass or not, but he really got it all squirrely. But went through. Incredible car control from the 23-year-old Richard Mitchum. Lives in Boston, Lincolnshire. Multi-champion in this formula. And, well, with driving skills like that, we've got to change for second place, because coming up to second now is Andrew Dunn. I'm wondering whether there's a problem for Dan Clues. He's down to third, and now He's got Lee Morgan looking all over him as well. This is the view from the man who led here on the last lap, coming through the chicane, climbing up over Hilltop and then down towards Knickerbrook, and he's down to third place, and he's got Lee Morgan all over him now. Morgan's coming down as he comes into Knickerbrook on the inside line. He's through. Great pass there. Lee Morgan, Dan Clues very, very unhappy. Lost 3 places in less than half a lap. So not great for Lee. Ex-Cadet Carter, junior TKM from 2001 to 2006, Lee Morgan. Dan Clues, another ex-kart driver, raced in Division 1 supercarts and 125cc long circuit karts as well. But Richard Mitchum it is, the championship leader, who should very much sew up the title today. 14 rounds over the course of the season, 2 rounds of which you can drop. Gives you the chance to have a weekend off or maybe mechanical failure. Certainly Mitchum's had none of those. The only non-score he's had so far is the second event to Anglesey. The rest of the championship points for him showing very much as 40 points, scoring right the way across the table as we look at Barry Armstrong in car number 5. Barry, one of the older drivers, 53 years of age. We've got a very good age spread of drivers in this championship. Running from, as you said, Richard Mitchum, one of the young guys, 23 years of age. Lee Morgan's 23 as well, right the way up to the 53-year-old Barry Armstrong, who's enjoying his race. All the cars, Jedi Mark 6 machines. And as we mentioned, there's a challenge class for the drivers running the older engines. That's the for the engines produced between 2004 and 2008. That's the championship class, a club class for engines produced in 2003 or before. But with the outright race leader at the moment, Richard Mitchum, who's pulling away and looking to bag fastest lap as well in this one. Lap times averaging here at Alton Park, 1:35.903. That's over 100 miles an hour. I challenge you to find any other single-seaters that can do that sort of speed here around Alton Park for the money. As we look at Jeremy Pickard closing up. Remember, he was the car that stalled on the grid. Got a push from the marshal, so he's running well. But so too is Richard Mitchum out front at the moment. Out of Dearly, pulling away. There's Andrew Dunn in white in second place. They're on to the last lap. This is round 11 of the 14 problems there for Barry Armstrong. The car's pulled up. There's Andrew Dunn in second position, still giving chase, but I don't think he's got anything in the tank to close down on the race leader. Jeremy Pickard still running in sixth place. We've had a number of retirements in this one. Both the club, all 3 of the club class runners, Jonathan Packer, Mike Watton and Richard Moorcroft, all out of the race. Mike Watton will have a little bit of satisfaction maybe through setting the fastest lap as we look at Jeremy Pickard in sixth place on his last lap. But Richard Mitchum is looking for his 8th win of the year. Started off with a double at Silverstone. And is he going to finish the Alton Park round with a double win as well? He's got the fastest lap in this one, as we said, over 100 miles an hour average here. Andrew Dunn closing up actually for my money. He's only 2 seconds behind, but it looks like it's going to be second for him. Lee Morgan's got the other podium position. Dan Clues hasn't dropped any further back. He's still in 4th. There's Dan, 4th position, perhaps appropriately for car number 4. We'll see whether he can improve on that in race number 2 and sort out whatever problems he might have. But under the Paul Warwick Bridge goes Richard Mitchum. It's going to be another 40 points for his championship campaign. Second in the championship coming here to Alton Park is Alok Iyengar. And more about him anon as the checkered flag goes out. Mitchum wins. Richard Mitchum takes the win. It wasn't lights to flag, but Mitchum wins from Andrew Dunn in second place. So Richard Mitchum then the winner from Andrew Dunn. Lee Morgan in 3rd ahead of Dan Clues. Matthew Bett takes 5th place from Jeremy Pickard. Fastest lap to Richard Mitchum as well.
Well, Richard, the beginning of that race certainly wasn't easy, was it?
No. I didn't get an amazing start, but I didn't think it was that bad. Dan just absolutely flew. Managed to hold Andy off, and then my overtaking move wasn't overly planned, to be honest. It was more I was took by a bit of an alarm. I hardly hit the brakes, and it was more avoiding action than a planned move. But it stuck, and managed to bang some quick laps in. Andy got straight past us as well, and hot pace all the way through the race, real hot.
Well, Andrew, second place. There must have been a couple of moments in that race where you were thinking, oh my word, this is it.
At the start, I needed to get past Richard before he cleared Dan, really, because even if you can do the same speed, it's hard to overtake. You know, Richard's normally pretty much as quick as you can go everywhere, so I was trying to get past, and then Richard had a bit of a moment as he passed Dan, and I tried to get a run on them both, but I never got through, so that was kind of it. When I got through into second place eventually, it was just a case of going as hard as I can and hoping something happened, but he never made one mistake. It was just relentless the whole race.
Well, Lee, a good run to third position. Are you satisfied with that?
Yeah, I'm pretty satisfied. I started 5th on the grid, so any progress forward really was needed. So I got a good start, got a good run on Dan coming out of the first lot of essays, and then managed to get past him there. I stuck with Richard and Andrew all the way, well, for the first 5 laps, and then just started to tail off a little bit towards the end.
Well, not everybody has had it plain sailing in the first race. A couple of drivers need a bit of a repair job, and one of them is Barry Armstrong. A bit of a race by misadventure race one, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. I mean, as I said, we had some problems in qualifying, and which meant that we didn't actually set a very good time, so it was towards the back of the grid. And Chris, Ian and Brian did a tremendous job to get me out on the grid, to be honest with you. It was last minute we got into the assembly area. And was doing all right in the race until we seemed to have hit an electrical problem, which basically killed the engine eventually, and a bit disappointing after all the work these guys have put in.
And a lot of the people around the paddock have been saying today that they're baffled about how fast these cars are compared to, say, Formula Renaults and everything. That must be an added part of the buzz, mustn't it?
Yeah, it's quite a cheap formula to run for the speed that you're doing. Obviously, you're doing about 150 mile an hour, 0 to 60 in around about 3 seconds, and it's doing the same speeds as most Formula Renaults for a fraction of their budget. So it's a good series to be in, especially for the speed.